My buddy Chris. You know Chris.
Yeah.
He
went 5-0 in the RYP.
He did. Tube Sock Enthusiast 5-0. Well, obviously he didn't hold back on letting me know how good he was and if he wanted to buy his picks off him this week, obviously. But then he says, I said, well, are you watching our pod? He goes, no, I haven't seen it. So I sent it to him. I'm looking at what he texted me. And then he says, oh dear. I don't know if he watched it or whether he was listening to it or he did a bit of both, because he said he got pissed off with one of them because I had that silly wig on and it was curling in front of my eye. And he said it was driving him nuts. So he started writing.
Well, I hope he was watching it, because that'd be hard to tell from just the audio.
Well, I don't know I think he started listening because he was probably on his way into work or whatever. Anyhow, then he started sending me pictures of his comments. His first one was like, typical Chris, you guys definitely have a face for radio. Then he says, who weaved the human-sized basket that Phil is sitting in? You remember that thing behind me last week? I had that,
yeah. Well, I made a comment on that too.
I know. And then he says,
we got like a strip show going back there?
Then he says, I'm more confused than the two hosts. But what a great reference to Roadhouse. You didn't get my Roadhouse reference.
No, I don't. You know what? For the viewer who watches, I've never seen Roadhouse.
Yeah, I can't believe that. And then he said, you're talking about Wrexham versus Man City. What football are we talking about on this show? And then he gives some...
Well, maybe that's... Gosh, maybe... I think I might be in dead last.
But
in RYP.
So we were laughing at that. And then, obviously I've been a little bit gentle on you this week. I should have been a lot harder on you. But anyway, so... I was going to say something now, and I've lost my train of thought.
This is the guy that picked Dallas. You want to be gentle on me?
Hey, that was the only one that was a bad pick out of it. I looked at the 5 bets that I liked last week on this show.
Yeah,
4 of them came good, but one of them didn't.
One of them didn't.
Oh,
the week wasn't that bad. I mean, we'll talk about the recap here in a second.
Right, we'll do it. But anyway, last thing he said to me, first thing he says, what do I win? What do I win this week? And I said, nothing. And then he said, well, why the hell do you have a bloody tie break?
I have no idea.
That's what
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the tie break's for.
I don't know. I said it makes you the first place this week because the other guy that 5-0 was further away in the tiebreak. But guess what? You don't get anything for it.
Nothing.
This sucks.
Nothing. It's got to do it again. I'm going to rise from the ashes. But I have to say, like, I'm doing so many different. So I'm doing the one with you. I'm doing Circa. I'm doing the pregame.com one that I normally do, and I do RYP. The RYP, I take the most risk because the other one, I'm like 7-2-3 or something like that, or 7-5-3. I don't know what my record is, but I'm positive on pregame. I'm slightly negative on Circa, and are we 500?
We're about 500.
I think we're 500 on the. But that's the beauty of the mini contest, the in-season contest, which RYP doesn't have that yet, but hopefully they have it next year. Hopefully Splash has ATS rather than just pick 'em.
So this is my ode to Chris tonight with my taco hat and mustache.
Okay, thank you.
We're getting close to November, and he always likes to pull off a good old tash in November. Sometimes some dirty beard or goatee or something. But he's always rocking some kind of facial hair. So this is for you, Chris, if you're watching. And Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave's Dave. IPA, nice.
Yeah, Dave, thank you for sponsoring us this evening and this beautiful IPA from Uncle Dave.
I do want to point something out that we still have to go all the way through October before we get to November. Like, what is today? It's September 28th. It's not October 28th.
But I'll forget about the conversation with Chris that I had this week in a couple of weeks anyhow. So.
Oh, okay. So you're planning that 5 weeks in advance.
Yeah, because I'll forget, but I'll come up with something else by then. I might even have grown my own beard.
Well, I could say you could grow digital facial hair. It looks like.
I could.
Yeah. Well, that's actually good.
The good thing is you
props to AI or whatever you call this stuff.
Yep.
Whoever made the What's that condition that where you can't grow hair? Wasn't that part of the Will Smith
alopecia?
Alopecia. Do you have facial alopecia? Kind of.
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, actually, it wasn't.
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
I have facial slow hair growth, and then I shave it.
Slow hair growth. Okay. Yeah.
So my 5 o'clock shadow, it's not a 5 o'clock shadow. It's like a 3-week shadow.
Okay. SHG, slow hair growth. All right. I'm just going to make a note of that. Okay.
All right. Let's get into this.
You want to talk about? All right. Let's talk about Bruno. There it is. There's our recap from last week.
Have you seen that film, Bruno?
Yeah, I didn't like it. Well, I haven't seen Bruno, but I've seen Encanto, which is the movie with the song. I have a 3-year-old. I've seen it about 35 times.
You got to watch Bruno, but that's a different one. It's with Sacha Baron Cohen.
No, I haven't seen that.
You know, the guy who plays Borat.
No. Well, I know that. So here it is. This was the shit show. And you know what? It actually felt a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, it did.
Because the Vikings game was a coin flip.
And they blew it.
The Chargers did, Staley did what Staley does. He goes for it on 4th down on their own 20-yard line. They fuck it up. And then the Vikings fucked it up even more.
Yeah, they just blew it. They blew it.
They fucking choked.
I was waiting for Kirk Cousins to go to the Jets this week.
What?
I was waiting for Kirk Cousins to go to the Jets this week.
Yeah, I don't like those rumors. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't like those rumors. You know, you have a Vikings basket. I've got the same Vikings basket on the futures. They need to keep Cousins. They're not that bad. There was a Twitter poll that or X poll that I saw. Who's the best 0-3 team? It's the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't help that I've got 2 future win total overs that are combined 0-6. Because I also have the Broncos.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. I took the Broncos in May. In May.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Minnesota. Tennessee got rolled. Was not even worth talking about. Dallas got rolled. Not even worth talking about. Seattle was a nice cover.
Very good.
And then
very good.
And the Eagles was a solid cover. So really it came down to the Vikings, Chargers, coin flip. That's what I expected. It was a pick'em game, or the line was 1. So
should have won.
Yeah.
Should have, would have, could have.
That's what it was. That happens. So that's that. Do you want to say anything about that?
No.
You want to talk about the Dallas game?
We'll talk about Dallas. It's coming up.
We're going to talk about Dallas. Okay. All right. So let's go to the lines for this week, week 4, Westgate SuperContest. Here we go. Oh, well, hold on. I should go back and mention we were 2-3, so we're 8-7. I don't know where that puts us in the contest. They do publish how many teams have the wins. We're probably maybe 50th percentile, 60th percentile. There's not that many people in this one.
No, but we could do with a couple of Tube Sock enthusiast weeks. That's for sure.
Yeah, we need to pop a couple of 5-0s. So let's see what you came up with this week. Let's do. I simplified my process a little bit.
Yep.
But I want to make note of your games. I would like for you to just roll through yours first, like last week, since it worked so well for us.
My top bets.
Yeah. What are your games? What are the ones you like?
I like Jags. I like Jags at England early morning.
Okay, that's and that line is -3.
3. They're against Atlanta Falcons. And I look at this as I said last week I faded the Jags, and I faded the Jags. I was bang on. I took them in every other pool I was in except this one, and well, not every other pool. Half of the pools I took them in. I think because of their coaching and their quarterback, they're going to beat the Falcons. I got no faith in Ridder. I think they're a terrible team. I think they're going to get rolled. I think it's an easy bet. I think it's a must bet. -2.5 in the pool, -3 here. Jacksonville all day long.
Okie dokie.
Then I like Oh, you're gonna like this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like Steelers at Houston -3.
Pittsburgh -3 at Houston. Okay. And tell me a little bit about that.
I just think they're a better team. They're a better team all around. You know, we were a little nervous of them last week, and we didn't like their offense was a little bit shaky, but they looked a little bit better. I think they're getting stronger and stronger. I think Houston are fun. I just don't think they're that good. And I think Steelers are way better than the -3 actually, and I think it's a good one.
You think it's a good number? Yeah, I flip flopped on Pittsburgh last week. So when I did my initial list of picks, that game was in my second tier, and I had Pittsburgh minus whatever it was against the Raiders. They might even been a dog. I don't remember. I don't remember what that line opened as. And then I flipped to the Raiders by the end of the week and came up a loser. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So you like that one? Okay.
I like that one. I like the Eagles at home.
That's against Washington, right?
So the Eagles are at home to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I get? 8.5 over there. It's 8.5. It's 8 here. You know, last season, as you know, they were their first loss was against the Commanders. They played terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders absolutely bombed it last week. I think the Eagles are getting stronger. I think they're a significantly better team. They did play the Bills, who I like, and we'll talk about the Bills later on. It's not in my top tier; it's in my second tier. That bet, but I think Eagles roll right over them. I'm a big fan. In fact, the next ones I like are all big numbers.
You love these big favorites.
I love them. I like the Niners. I like the Niners at 14. I really like the Niners at 14. I still think Arizona Cardinals are not very good.
Mm-hmm.
They made to look good last week, but I think the Niners at home, they're the best team in the NFC. Probably the second or third best team in the NFL. So
who's the best team in the NFL?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
That's my next bet. Kansas City Chiefs. And they're my favorite bets. I think Kansas City
those are your top ones? KC's minus 9.5, right?
Yeah. I love KC's defense. I think their defense is good. Their offense is good. KC is away at the Jets. I think he's got one more game in him, Zach Wilson. I think they're terrible offensively. I think the Chiefs will be up by 3 scores pretty quickly, and I don't think the Jets will get in unless their defense manages to get a few. You know, if you take the Jets in this game, we're taking them purely to win on defensive players. It's just not going to happen against KC. So it's KC all over. They should be -12, -13.
And you'd still take them anyway.
Oh, well, yes, love it. So there you go. There's Pepe's top bets of week 4. Brought to you by Uncle Dave's IPA.
Okay. So let me give you in those games that you just told me, I went through this week and I just asked myself, who's the better team?
Yes.
Okay. Just not what I think of the statistics that I gather and the analysis that I do. Who has been the better team this year? Okay. Jacksonville or Atlanta? Atlanta's been the better team. Pittsburgh and Houston. Houston's been the better team. Philadelphia and Washington. Philadelphia is the better team. San Francisco and Arizona. Niners are the better team. Kansas City and the Jets. Kansas City is the better team. Okay. So on my list, initially, I liked Atlanta, but then I asked myself this. I'm like, okay, Atlanta's played better. If you look at the statistics, Atlanta's played better. So why is Jacksonville favored? I think some of it is experience in London. I think some of it is we don't know if the Falcons can play even average on the road. There's Ritter, even going back to college, wasn't very good on the road. And this is the clincher for me. I've got Jacksonville as maybe the most desperate team in the NFL this week. They have to play well and they have to win.
No doubt.
So I'm with you on Jacksonville -3 is on my list.
Yes.
So I think we should make that one of our picks for sure.
Lock it in.
Okay. Now let's talk about Pittsburgh at Houston. Huh?
I said that's a first for us. We've come to agreement within the first 10 minutes.
Well, we're not going to have agreement on any of the other ones. So that's why we went through that one first. Pittsburgh and Houston. Houston's got the better stats. I still don't think the Steelers offense is that good. I think they're limited. I think they're going up against a defensive coach. So for me, this game boils down to, can Houston mitigate and avoid turnovers? I think CJ Stroud's got a ton of touchdowns and no interceptions on the season, or he hasn't had an interception since the first week. So if they're being coached to take care of the football, play, field position, punts, whatever, they're going to win this game.
No
I believe Houston has played better than Pittsburgh, and they quite possibly could play better than Pittsburgh in this game. And they're at home, and they're getting 3 points. So I will challenge I'll challenge the Pittsburgh call. Next, Philadelphia and Washington. Philadelphia is better. This game scares me just because Washington scares me.
I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of lost for words that you like Houston so much.
Well, I was lost for words when you liked them last week.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I just said, who's the better team? Forget about what you think.
Do not
look at the stats that you actually compile, and it's Houston's better.
Before the season started, who would you have put your money on in this game?
Pittsburgh.
All right, don't change it then. Seriously, don't change it. All right, moving on. What's your one?
Okay. That one's on the outside looking in. We can come up with 4 better ones than that.
Oh yeah.
Philadelphia and Washington. Philadelphia is the better team, no doubt. Washington just kind of makes me nervous. They played tough against them last year. I don't know. I just don't have a good feel for Washington. I think we snuck in Philadelphia on a good in a good spot against the Bucs on Monday night on the road. I could see a little bit of a letdown. I don't like spreads this big in division games. So, do I think Philadelphia is going to win? Yes. Do I think they're the better team? Yes. Could I see a little bit of like a letdown? Yes. Could I see a backdoor cover? Yes. So I'm not hot on. I don't like giving that many points, just in general. So
I do.
I know you do. That's why you came with every double-digit spread last week, and you would have been fine if you picked all of them, but you just picked the one loser.
Well, because I gave in to you. Not doing that.
Well, that's why. Yeah, exactly. That's why we got other pools. Okay. This one I got a lot to talk about. San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
Let me make my case.
Don't tell me your case is for the Cardinals.
Let me make my case. I remember talking to you about this on our drive to Reno. And I said, listen, this cat for Arizona is the defensive coordinator for the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's very familiar with Dallas. He's very familiar with Washington. He's very familiar with the New York Giants. It just so happened those are the first 3 games they played this year. They're a feisty bunch. I don't think they're much offensively, but they're feisty defensively. Okay, they were competitive in week 1. They should have beat the Giants in week 2, and they pretty much handled Dallas week 3, although I think that was a little bit of a letdown spot for Dallas.
It was, no doubt about it.
I think so. He's got familiarity with the NFC East, but I think the next 2 teams that he's familiar with are the Chiefs from the Super Bowl and the Niners from the NFC Championship game. So I'm not sure there's a huge, I wouldn't call it a big drop off in terms of his prior knowledge and game plan that he's already been rolling with for a year or 2. I don't think he's got to create a bunch of new stuff for this week upcoming. I will also say this. How much better have the 49ers been this season than you expected?
Quite significantly.
Significantly?
Well, I wasn't expecting. I mean, they were great last season. I didn't. I thought they would have. I thought they would have a little bit of a slump. I thought they'd have a little regression because I wasn't hot on the quarterback. Wasn't a huge Purdy fan going into this, even though I think it was great that Garoppolo went. But I didn't think they were going to be quite as astounding. Just as I thought the Rams were going to suck, and they've been a little bit better. There's a few of there's all these teams. There's some surprises for all of them. We had Denver. We had Denver over, and they just got their ass whooped last week.
Mollywopped, yeah.
So. I cannot go anywhere near the Cardinals in this. This is like the best team in the league against the team 4 or 5 weeks ago we thought were throwing it away so they could have first pick in the draft. Now, they're playing harder than that. There's no doubt about it. It's the Niners at home. It's going to be 21-0 at the first quarter, man. McCaffrey's going to run through them like butter.
Hold on. I just ask you, so you think the 49ers are significantly better than your expectations heading into the season?
Well, I may be significantly strong, but they're certainly better than I thought they would be.
I don't think they're any better than I expected. I give the 49ers 0 upgrade so far for this. But I thought they were going to go over their win total, and I said it didn't matter who played quarterback. They were going over.
We were at two different places there, yeah.
Do you think Arizona is better than you thought heading into the season?
The results are proving them to be a little bit better than I thought. I didn't predict them winning more than 3 or 4 games this season.
Okay. And I don't think they're going to win this game.
They're not.
Let's look at the summer line. The summer line was 49ers minus 10.5. Do you think there's been 3.5 points of adjustment in favor of the 49ers over the Cardinals based on what you've seen this year?
I think Kyle Shanahan wants to come out on Sunday and show Mike McCarthy how to beat a poor team and set up who is the best team without a doubt in week 4 in the NFC and just watch us wipe their bottom. That's it.
Who did you just talk about? The 49ers are going to show who?
Mike McCarthy at Dallas.
That's another one of my points. They're looking ahead to Dallas, and so are you.
I'm not looking ahead to Dallas.
This is a sneaky spot right here.
They're proving to Dallas right here. They want to scare Dallas. They want to say, you want to come to us in a couple of weeks? Let us show you how to whitewash a little team that you should have demolished and you were made to look frumpy. Let's go. Get the big girl's blouse back on and button it up.
Okay. We might just have to do a coin flip on this one. I'm on Arizona. I just think that's too many points.
No way. Absolute nonsense.
I think it's too many points.
Cannot touch it. Cannot touch it.
Cannot. However, if you touched them last week, you would have been undefeated. Anyway, Kansas City minus 9.5 at the Jets. I agree with you on this one. The points are too big to be one of my top 5, but I don't think the Jets are going to score. This is more about the Chiefs defense, which has been fantastic. The Chiefs defense has been excellent this year. Their offense has been okay, although they had a coming out party last week. I don't think the Jets are going to score. I don't think Kansas City needs to score that much. It could be a kind of a pedestrian, like 27-3. No problem.
No problem.
So I'll write down Kansas City minus 9.5. I don't like that many points. The only one thing that worries me about this is that's the Sunday night game, right? Just the NFL conspiracy to keep those games close so they get viewers and advertising dollars.
But when this was put together, there was it was Rodgers and the Jets against Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's just
I understand that, but Rodgers isn't going to play.
So it's not. There's nothing they can do. It's just going to be a destruction.
Yeah.
Demolition.
Okay. So we've got one solid pick on there.
Well, I actually think we have 2, to be fair. Actually, I think we have 4 if you're smart. We got Jacksonville, Philly, Niners, and KC.
If I'm smart, we've got Jacksonville. We'll lock Jacksonville. All the other ones are for grab. Well, okay, what else you got? You mentioned Buffalo?
So, actually, the other team that I like, the top of my second tier is Baltimore.
Okay.
At Cleveland.
Okay.
Their injury report is looking really good.
It's looking better.
I think they're a significantly better team. Cleveland Browns, I think, have shocked a few people. I think they've been better than a few people thought. Nobody really knew. Like, remember you and I were talking about it? We just didn't really know. I don't think Deshaun Watson's that good, though.
No.
I just don't think he's that good.
Well, the last time he was good, the Houston Texans went 4-12. So he played awesome. It didn't contribute to any winnings.
I like the fact that their O-line is healthy again. And their O-line was pretty poor last week. They couldn't convert. I think it's a strong second tier bet for me.
Okay. I did my analysis. Cleveland has been the better team. Their defense has been insane. The defense is averaging giving up 15 yards a drive. That just makes it really hard to score. Now, I will say this. Probably the one thing that will frustrate a good defense more than anything is a mobile quarterback. Because they can stop, they can do everything right, they can get a pass rush, he squirts out, he makes one person miss, and he's off for a 60-yard touchdown. So I wrote down a list of the division games. I like division games and getting points. I like the injury report for Baltimore trending in the right direction. I could do Baltimore plus 2.5. Mm-hmm. I think they're the better team.
I think they're the better team also.
They haven't played better, but I think they're the better team. And it could have been they were holding their guys out last week, trying to sneak a win against the Colts.
Yes.
That backfired, but they were really keen on this divisional game. And I think they might play Pittsburgh next week. So getting everybody ready for the two big divisional games back to back.
Yes.
I could go Baltimore. I could lean Baltimore for sure. All right. What else you got?
So we were pretty beaten up last week with Tennessee.
Yes.
Tennessee disappointed me. They don't really have an ability to score.
Yeah, well, I said it. I don't know if you watched my Circa one, but I said I have no idea how they're going to score. They're going to need like a block punt and like another special teams or like a strip sack to be in the red zone. Yeah, they weren't going to score against Cleveland. I still picked them.
Yes, I mean, and it's interesting for me because Joe Cool is not in good shape. He's not in good shape. Their defense is okay. They did all right at the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Tennessee could rough him up. I think he could be in trouble. I think they could have a bit of a bounce back because it was rough. They did get a bit of a pasting. You know, they get to play at home. They're a dog at home. They're against Cincy, who are they're just not the Bengals right now. Mm-hmm. And they're far from it. I think this is a good spot for Tennessee.
Good spot for Tennessee. I would agree with you. I'm a little scared to take Tennessee 4 straight weeks.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's, I agree with everything you said. Burrow is not Burrow. They're throwing everything short and fast. Tennessee hasn't been very good, but in these spots, now Cincinnati's going to have one less day of rest because they played on Monday night. Although that didn't really matter last week. Tennessee's at home. I like teams coming off a loss. A team that's got potential playoff aspirations. They don't want to go to 1-3. So where the urgency was with Cincinnati on Monday night, they were 0-2. Like, we need to F and win the game. Yeah. I think now they probably both have that a little bit, but I would say even more so for Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I'd give the edge to Tennessee. If you're getting points at home and you might have a little motivational bump, I could go Tennessee. Although I don't think that will be in my 5.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And that's I'd like to know how you feel about Denver.
I hope you're going to ask me about one game. I'm waiting for you to ask me about this game. Oh, so I hope this is it.
Denver at Chicago.
No, that's not the one I want to talk about.
You wanted Dallas and Patriots, but I stayed off it.
No.
Well, don't say Chargers because I don't want to talk about Chargers.
None of those.
The Bills
Denver and Chicago?
I know.
God, I have to go Denver because I think Chicago's the worst team in the league.
I absolutely agree.
I think they're the worst team in the league. They have a shit coach, and they're dysfunctional.
They're terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I think the Broncos could have their best game of the season so far over there. That's not saying much, obviously, against the Bears. Everybody's beating the Bears, but
well, I think the Bears are just like, if you look at both teams are 0-3, right? So, yeah. But if you're looking at 0-3, let's get in the foxhole with each other. Let's get fired up. We're at home. I don't think they're doing any of that. I think they're texting each other. Our team sucks. I can't wait for the fucking season to be over. Our coach is a fucking idiot. Yeah. I think they just have that kind of vibe with the roster.
You want to golf on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think no, I'm not available Tuesday, but
no, that's what they're saying to each other.
Yeah, I got it.
Numpty.
Sorry, that one. Took off a little cheese going over your head.
You don't even have any clubs.
I don't have clubs. I don't have any clubs. Not right now. I would go Denver. I don't love losing on Denver again.
No. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but I think if somebody said $100 and you got to bet on that game, it's on Denver.
Yeah, but we've got this other thing that we just started last week for our proxy. So we go Denver on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was the other one? Dallas and New England?
No, I listed like 15 of them. What's yours? What's yours?
The game I want to talk about. You mentioned this team and you said we'll talk about them, and we haven't talked about them.
Oh, Dallas.
No.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo, the best team.
I think my number one bet this week is Miami plus 2.5.
Buffalo at home. Best team wins.
How can you say that they're better than Miami?
I think that overall, they're the best team.
In the AFC? Around. In the game? The division?
I just think they're better overall over Miami. They're a better team. Miami are fast, and Miami are scoring points. But can you score on Miami? Yes.
I don't know. Have teams scored on Miami?
Can Josh Allen score on Miami? I think they're going to surprise. I think Miami is going to get their first little wake up. Hang on. Now you're playing a big dog. What do you think? Tell me why you like Miami.
I think Miami's the best team in the NFL right now. I think they scare the daylights out of everybody. I can't believe they're an underdog. They're getting 2.5 points after they just scored 70?
Well, you can't go on that. That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I don't think it. I mean, look how
it does matter.
Look how it didn't really impact the game. It didn't really impact the spread, the fact that they drubbed Denver.
I don't know why.
Because the smart people know Buffalo are better.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think I looked up. I looked this one up on pregame.com. I think what you just said is true. If you look at the number of bets, like the number of bets are on favor Miami, the number of dollars favor Buffalo. So the bigger money is coming in on Buffalo, which usually means the sharps are on Buffalo. I don't like. Did you look at Buffalo's injury report? I think they have 3 or 4 starters on defense that aren't practicing. You don't want to have 3 or 4 starters on defense not practicing against the Miami Dolphins.
I'm taking Buffalo. You can pick your bet. We'll have a side bet. I'm picking Buffalo.
The other thing.
You name it.
The other thing that might play a part is, okay, well, Miami and Buffalo played 2 close games last year, but I remember one of them, the game in Buffalo, was in the snow. I remember McDaniel, I wish it were colder. It's not going to be cold in Buffalo this weekend. I think Miami's going to throttle down. Okay, so Buffalo scored 37 points against Washington. You just told me how bad Washington was. They boat raced somebody the week before against somebody that's not very good. I think probably the way we're both talking is we would take the over in this game either way.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be a shitload of points.
Yes.
I just think Miami. I think Miami is a juggernaut right now.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take a side bet on that one.
A side bet. Okay.
I take the Bills.
Okay.
Minus 2.5. You take the Dolphins plus 2.5.
And we'll do
a night at rookies.
Okay.
A bite and a libation.
A bite and a libation at rookies. Okay, you got it.
Yeah. All right, good deal.
All right, who else you like?
I'm writing that down right on this note. And this note, can you read that? It says, "Good things are coming."
That's I can taste it already. Free food.
All right, Buff minus 2.5. Phil wins a night on Andy.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Let me ask you about
what?
Oh, you got one? I don't really have a strong opinion on Dallas or the Chargers.
So the Chargers, Chargers and Raiders, I don't like either of them. I think they're both terrible. I just, at that point spread, I mean, obviously everybody's favoring the Chargers. Are they the better team? Yeah, there's no doubt they're the better team. You and I both don't want either of those teams to win. I think we've got them both on the under. So I wish they both lose, but that's not possible.
They can tie.
They could tie. Yep, that's for sure. So I'm not really bothered about it. Dallas is an interesting one for me because we got burned last week. They're at home. They're playing the Patriots. Dallas could go off on them. I just have this sneaky feeling, Dak is better than he was last week. It's kind of like, when you played sports, it's a relatively high level. And
thank you.
You have days you're just not in it. You're just not there. It's just there's no gelling. It just doesn't work. And there's other days where everybody's fired up and it's just rolling. That was a day where everybody was just out of sync. Nothing went for them. They're against a gritty pit bull that was biting at their ankles all day. They couldn't get their socks and shoes on, couldn't get running. I think this week, they win by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Early. I think early, and then they shut it down.
Okay. It's another big spread you like.
I do like a big spread.
You didn't mention anything about the best defensive coach in the history of football.
They call me Buffet Phil. A big spread.
Well, I can't argue with what you said. For me, when I'm looking at spreads like this, I like the chip on the shoulder motivation because they lost last week. They're staring the 49ers in the eye next week. So this is like, we better get our shit together or we could be in for another embarrassing performance on Sunday night.
Agreed.
But when I look at this, is there a massive talent disparity that would cause this game to potentially get out of hand? And there could be. I think Dallas is probably better offensively and better defensively. When I did the stats, Dallas is clearly better. So Dallas is clearly better. New England just won. Dallas just lost. I like the team coming off the loss. I just think the points are a little high. But
we've got Dallas on the over. I've got New England on the under on my season bets. Let's roll it, fellas. Let's roll it. I'm going all in.
All right. I don't have either of those bets, so
I do.
Let me just try to keep you at bay there. Okay, I'm bringing up another game. Are you done with that one?
Yep.
All right, let me bring up this one. The last game, Monday night game, Giants and Seahawks. What do you like?
Yeah. Well, you're gonna see this anyway, but I picked it in my pool, in our pool. I like Seattle away. I think they looked good last week. I'm a huge Kenneth Walker fan. Their O-line looks healthy. I think they're getting a nice rhythm going. I think that I'm not a huge fan of the Giants. I like Seahawks at a pick. I think I got what is it?
Pick.
Giants are minus 1.5.
Yeah, I think you're getting in the RYP. I think points. You're getting points with Seattle.
Yeah. That's
I
I like Seattle right now. I think they're getting good.
I like Seattle right now, but I like the Giants, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
I tracked this last year. The teams that have double-digit wins ATS. Seattle's on one this week. They're about 50-50 cover rate. This is pick 'em, so will they win the game? I said this earlier in a game with the Jacksonville-Atlanta game. Atlanta has played better. Jacksonville has to be the more motivated team. Exact same thing in this scenario. Seattle has played better. The Giants have to be the more motivated team. At home, Monday night, they're 1-2, probably should be 0-3. If they have aspirations of making the playoffs, they've got to get their shit together right now and put it on the field in this game. So to me, it's not that similar to Jacksonville and Atlanta, other than Seattle's probably better than Atlanta.
I don't disagree with that in regards to the need. I just think Seattle is the better team. And at a pick, I'm picking the better team.
I think you're right.
All day.
I think you're right. Okay, that's another crossfire. How about the Rams and the Colts?
I have no opinion on that game.
No opinion. Okay.
Do you?
Is that a pick 'em too? Yeah, it's a pick 'em too. I think the Rams are better. I'm just not sure if Puka is playing. He's on the injury report. So if he's not playing, then I think the Rams are in trouble. If he is playing, he's healthy.
Pretty damn good. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good.
Well, yeah. And they're just like, Puka. Okay, you can get open. Nobody can cover you. We're going to throw you the ball every single time. Like, let's not even try to pretend.
But we're not picking this game.
Not that one?
It's a messy one. Do you know the one we should consider picking, though?
San Francisco minus 30.
No.
Which one?
Yeah, I mean, I like that one too. There's two games that we haven't talked about really that I like. That I like the bet.
Saints and Bucks.
I like Saints. I like the Saints. And, I've been on and off the Saints for a couple of seasons, as you well know. I don't think Derek Carr's going to play. So Jameis Winston comes in. Does that downgrade the Saints?
Jameis Winston. Is that like Stacy's mom or Jesse's girl? Like what is Jameis Winston?
Does that downgrade the Saints?
Answer the question. What is Jameis Winston?
Does it downgrade the Saints?
Yes. You don't think so? You don't think Derek Carr's better than Jameis Winston?
Well, I don't like either of them about as much as I like Garoppolo. So all three of them are about the same.
Yeah. I think Winston's the worst of the three.
I don't think it hurts them too badly. I think the Saints defense is good. I think the Saints get Kamara back, don't they, this week? So that's a pretty good thing. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are shit. Let's just be honest.
Well, you don't have to convince me of that.
I think.
But hold on a second. I got to go back to this Winston Carr thing.
Don't.
Listen up.
You know how I feel about them because I had them on the over. Then he comes in and he screws up my over 2 seasons ago. But still.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, who did they have before? They had Andy. Last year they had Dalton and Jameis Winston. To me, that's probably a push. Although I think Dalton's better than Jameis Winston, and Derek Carr's better than Andy Dalton. They were up 17-0 against Green Bay. One of the games that I picked in I don't know, one of my other pools that I'm in. Carr gets hurt. And the Packers come back and win. It's pretty clear. Carr's significantly better. So, I mean, hold on. Let me look at what this game was in the summer. Line at Westgate was, okay, so here we go. Saints minus 5.5. Based on how they've played, I would expect, well, at least maybe before last week, I would expect Tampa Bay to cut into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with it. And now you've got Carr, I think he's probably not playing in this game.
I don't think he's
I had an AC joint sprain in my throwing shoulder, and I couldn't lift my arm over my head for like 10 days.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So you don't like, so what you're telling me is you don't like the Saints? That's fine. I do.
I don't like the game. I mean, I feel strongly about other games. Probably if I had to, again, this is a division rivalry game. I tend to want the points in those games because it's kind of nip and tuck most of the time. There's not many surprises. Saints coming off, Saints lost. They probably should have won. Back at home after 2 road games, but no starting quarterback. It's just
interesting.
That's a lot of question marks for me.
It's -3.5 everywhere else. -3 at the SuperContest. What about? Okay, let's leave it for now. I think I'm liking it for other places. But what about our friends, the Vikings?
Oh, ooh. Again, I feel like I have Vikings fatigue, kind of like with the Broncos and the Titans.
2 0-3 teams. Bryce Young is likely to start, so I think that's a downgrade on the Red Rockets. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's a plus for Minnesota, right? If Bryce Young plays
for Minnesota. Minnesota are a better team all around, although they're playing like piss pots. But
they're not playing like piss pots.
Just throw it away.
They coughed up a fucking game to Tampa Bay. They coughed up a fucking game to the Chargers, and they got beat by the Eagles. They should be 2-1.
Should be 2-1. They should be 2-1.
So they're a 2-1 team playing Carolina, who probably shouldn't. I don't think they've even come close to winning this year.
We've got 4 units on Minnesota in multiple bets. It's like, come on.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to. I mean, you don't want to keep. Once the Titanic hit the iceberg, that fucker was going down.
I know, but I don't think they're there yet.
No, I don't think they're there yet either. They should win this game.
You like that?
Minnesota -4.
-4.
Again, do I just keep doubling down, tripling down on Minnesota? Everybody, Carolina was one of the trendy bets last week. Yeah. Carolina +6. I think that spread got all the way down to 4.5 before it popped back up for Seattle. So, I don't know. We're doing a lot of talking. I think we have consensus on 1 pick.
Jacksonville.
Which is Jacksonville.
We've got consensus on 4. Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Niners, and Kansas City. We should just add Dallas to that, and we're good to go. Although I do like the Steelers too, but you think the Houston's going to be all right.
I like Baltimore. Well, see, I like Baltimore getting points.
Yeah, I'll take Baltimore too. I like that.
Okay.
Baltimore I've already picked in the pool.
Okay. I don't know if I've done my pool picks yet. I forget with everything.
I don't mind.
I
don't mind. My pool picks are pretty obvious. I've got Jacksonville, I got Pittsburgh, I got Baltimore, I got Dallas, I got Seattle. Boom.
So you didn't pick the 49ers?
So I keep changing my mind. I'll change it again tomorrow.
Yeah. That one's tough because you can keep going back and forth.
I keep going back and forth. That was the problem last week.
Where the other ones, you pick them and they're set and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, my CBS, I'm done. And this one.
I'm just looking at our menu here. Of the ones that you like, I'm probably most in alignment with Kansas City.
Yes.
I don't like giving up big points like that. I worry about the NFL conspiracy, but I don't think it's out of the question that the Chiefs win 10-0. I don't know how the Jets are going to score.
Yes, I don't. I mean, that's the
Kansas City defense is rolling right now, and their offense, the Jets still have a formidable defense. They're still a very good defense. They'll present some challenges for Mahomes, but possession by possession by possession by possession by possession by possession, Kansas City is just going to tack on points. And I just don't know if the Jets can do anything. So we could go with that one as the third.
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
What was the second one?
Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that, yeah. I've got that one. I like that one.
We have to pick the Niner game, and we're clearly on opposite sides of that one.
Yes. Last time we picked the Niners game, you got it wrong. This time it's on me, and we're taking the Niners. You took them with the big spread last time. Didn't work.
That was a bullshit fucking field goal by Sean McVay.
Don't blame somebody else. It didn't work. I've got the sword. I'm slashing the sword. My name is Inigo Montoya.
You got the sword last week. I gave you Dallas. I just go ahead and put Dallas in there.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Look, you know what? I'm going to give you the Niners. You hold the sword. You hold the sword. I'm going to stab you in the chest with it if this game is competitive. All right, so we have 4. We've got Jacksonville -3, San Francisco -14, which is ridiculous. Kansas City -9.5, and Baltimore.
Are you going to the game?
2.5. Huh?
Are you going to the game?
I am going to the game.
Good.
With the wife.
So you'll enjoy that while you're there. Text me, or I'll text you. Actually, I'll just text you. I'll be sitting at the pub, and I'll text you.
When it's 17-0, 5 minutes into the game?
Yeah. How do you like this? First quarter, I'll text you. How do you like this? 21-0.
I have a feeling we're going to be playing some sound bites from this one in the season review. Okay, so you forced the Niners in there.
Yep.
You don't like Houston. All right. No. Okay. Well, we've got. We're out on my number 1.
What's your number 1?
Miami.
I can't take Miami at Buffalo. Yeah, that's absolute nonsense.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back and look at some of my notes here. Yeah, you don't like either of these.
Tell me them.
Rams and Giants.
There's no way, Giants. I'm not betting that in a month of Sundays. The Rams, I really haven't even looked at that game.
Okay, then we got to go somewhere else.
Who's playing quarterback for the Colts this week?
Do you want to just bet against the Bears?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's take Broncos against the Bears. Let's do it.
So we've got Broncos or we've got Dallas.
So here's what I wrote on my notes. If in doubt, let me read this to you. If in doubt, vote against the Bucks.
Against the Bucks. Well, let's think about this. Minnesota is at Carolina -4.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's at Chicago -3.5.
-3.
Is it 3 on here?
-3.
Oh, it's -3 in the contest. Okay. So let me ask you this: who's worse, Chicago or Carolina?
Well, neither of them are any good, as you well know.
Okay. Then do you think Minnesota's a point better than Denver?
I'm a little nervous that if it was -3, I would bet both in the Super Contest right now.
Okay. But it's not. So would you rather?
I feel
probably feel. I don't know.
God, it's just. I'd rather take New Orleans, but at home to the Bucks. But if we've got to take one of these, I got to take Vikings.
So you'd rather swallow more points. Why?
Because I trust Vikings a little more in their scoring. Although I have to say, Denver's offense is looking like it's getting a bit better.
Yeah, Denver. I don't think Denver's that bad.
I think they can move the ball. I think they can score points. Chicago is. You're right. Okay, we're just talking ourselves into this. Why are we bothering? Denver. Lock it in.
Denver -3.
Denver -3. I just wrote it down and put a check mark next to it. We're not changing it. Come on.
All right. So our 5 is Jacksonville, San Francisco, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Denver.
Yeah.
I think next week you could do the show by yourself. Those are all your picks.
It's actually no, because Steelers, Philadelphia, New Orleans, Dallas, and Seattle are not on there. But that means I got 10 winners right here. I'm keeping this post. I keep the posters from every week. It shows how good and bad I am.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing pretty well so far.
Well,
My problem is I mix it up on everything. Like I mix it up on all the things that I do, and I have no clue like who I picked in which contest.
So the one I like, the one I kind of go with, is the one where I've got to pick all of them against the spread. And that's the CBS League, all against the spread. That one, we've got, how many people do we have in this? We have 55 people in this. And I am currently second because person first picked tonight's and I didn't, because as you know, I picked Green Bay. But other than that, I'm second.
That's good. What we've texted about this, part of the difficulty with these contests is you can only pick 5.
It's like playing Omaha instead of Texas Hold'em, because Texas Hold'em, you know, you've got the community cards, 2 in your hand. You can use as many of them or none of them if you want to. It doesn't matter. Then you play Omaha, you get 4 in your hand, and you start looking at all these combinations. Yeah, but I got to use 2 and I must use 2. And you're like, oh my God, I'm screwed. I can't do that. It's like this.
Yeah.
That's why I like Omaha, but I don't like picking these 5 because I know I've got 10 winners right here.
You might have 16 winners.
No, I never have 16 winners. If I had 16 winners, I'd be talking with Steve Fezzik every Friday afternoon.
Or you should be playing a $10 parlay every week and then retire.
Yes, would be calling me up. What's your picks, Phil? What do you think, buddy?
Phil's moving lines. Although they've been doing all right. The pregame crew's been doing all right. They had a ref SuperContest gold a couple weeks ago. But even then, you know, my 5-star bet, my 5-way bet, Raiders over the Steelers. They lose. So it just happens.
Last week, Fezzik's best bet, the Commanders.
Was the Patriots or
Commanders.
Oh dear.
A lot of them had the Commanders. Well, I could get it wrong. It might not have been Fez, but I would say 3 or 4 of the big betting pundits last week were the Commanders. I'm like,
yeah.
Well,
I watched this video on Twitter of this guy breaking down why Denver plus 6.5 was such a good bet, and all these stats and ATS and road and blah 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 blah, and then they got smashed by 50.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Sometimes you're just wrong.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you can't be right all the time. You just can't.
No. So it's what I like about this card. It's an interesting card because there's 0% chance I would have ended up with this combination of teams.
Yeah. I actually think we're going to have our best week.
All right. We'll probably go 4-1 and lose Jacksonville.
No. Yeah, because that's the one we actually agreed on.
Exactly.
Oh, dear. No. I like it.
All right. So we're set on this?
Yes. Okay.
And then we'll stay on and I'm gonna stop the recording. We'll stay on and do that other thing real fast.
Got it.
All right.
Roger, Dodger.